May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. We're looking at the Aussie dollar USD, the Aussie USD. Now, first thing I want to mention is my mic. All right. I'm trying to get this mic straightened out. I've got a couple of people who gave me comments in regards to the volume level. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. I've messed with the audio and move or reposition the mic. Let me know what you think in the comment section, will you please? Thank you. Now, I'm looking at the Aussie dollar USD. Now, I've already done 3 videos already. Put them out. One of them is the pound USD. The other is the euro USD. And you have the US dollar analysis for the week ahead. I already put those videos out. You want to make sure you check out all of them. All right. Especially the US dollar index, because that is going to determine the strength of the US dollar, whether it's strong or weak, is going to determine how you're going to trade the Aussie dollar and the euro USD, the pound USD, the Aussie dollar USD, of course, and the New Zealand dollar USD. All right. And if the US dollar is strong, you want to look for the exact opposite in the major pairs. All right. Now, considering the week ahead, here is the economic calendar. And the Aussie dollar is featured on this one on Tuesday and Wednesday. Why? Because we have CPI and unemployment data coming in. Let's see what those are going to indicate and how that's going to impact those markets, or the Aussie dollar market. You already know the US dollar has core PCE on Thursday. So this, if the inflation is hotter than usual, like it was last week as the report came in, if there's another hint that the inflation data is going to come in a little hot to the Fed is getting closer and closer, inching closer to a rate hike as opposed to a rate cut. And in either case, a higher than expected number or a lower than expected, a higher expected number is going to further strengthen the US dollar against the Aussie. All right. So, and drag it down even more. But that's what we're looking at. All right. Let me put a mute on those messages coming in. All right. Now, we're looking at the weekly time frame. Now, if you want to look at those just the weekly time frame, you can. Somebody would say, "Ooh, we're making lower lows and lower highs, and there's a channel here. Look at that." And then we have a break of structure to the upside here. So you say, "Oh yeah, I'm just looking for longs. I'm just looking for longs," until you pan out a little bit, and then you see that the market. Excuse me. I'm getting people kind of trying to contact me while I'm doing the video. You see that the market is bearish. All right, it is bearish, making lower lows and lower highs. All right, and this high, yes, internally, it did signify a higher break of structure. A high break of structure here, but this is internal structure, internal to this high and this low. So all of this in between, unless we break this high, we are not bullish. We are not bullish. Now, that's on the bigger time frame, right? The higher time frame. If you want to take longs after it does this, you can. All right, but look what happens. The market pushes up higher, comes back to the breakout area, pushes a little higher, takes out that buy side liquidity. All right, and we have another high here, that old high here that the market could push up into and then come down from, but it failed to do so here. All right, it failed to do so here, and we see that the market is taking out sell side liquidity, and we see that the bullish fair value gaps are not being respected. Look at that. Now we're coming to another one here. Do you see a large push once it came into contact with this bullish fair value gap here? No, it did not. It made this doji candle, an indecisive candle, and followed it with another one. It did go higher. It did take out last week, did take out the high of last week, only of the previous week. It did take out that high. Let me mark it. All right. I just want you to see what's going on here. It did take out this high. Can I just get it done? Thank you. All right. It did take out this high, and you saw that it pulled back, did not take out the low, and pull back into the middle. This is a candle two closure. All right, where the market takes out the high and then closes back within the range of the previous candle. All right. This has a bearish suggestion to it. You understand? You like those words? A bearish suggestion. It suggests some notes of floral. Get out of here. Some floral notes. All right. But I digress. All right. We did take out this low for sell side liquidity. You didn't see it. Once it took out the sell side liquidity, it took out that high, bit into this small little bearish fair value gap, respected it, a bearish fair value gap, and came down. Now, again, we got a candle two closure here. Let's see what the third candle does. All right, I'm thinking that we're leaning bearish here. All right, especially after this aggressive candle here, followed by this this tap into the bullish fair value gap here. A weak one at that, a weak reaction, all right, into the bearish one, and we have a bearish candle close here. So I am looking for more bearishness to come. It may be consolidative, all right, but I think the sentiment is going down. If I take you to the pound, you can see that there was a outside candle formed here. If I can draw it, that'd be great. An outside candle on the previous week. We swept the high and then closed well below the low and swept that sell side liquidity. This one says a pullback into these lows will probably push us down further. All right, this is heading down. All right, that is on the pound. All right, a correlated asset. All right, if we go to the Aussie dollar, all right, we didn't get that bearish close below that low as of yet, but we did get a close within the range. All right, after sweeping the high, after touching this bearish fair value gap up here. All right, so I'm looking for the market to continue down towards this low. Once we break this low, once we break that low, folks, that's going to confirm a bearish sentiment. All right, that is going to confirm a bearish sentiment, and we'll look to this leg for the market to revisit and find resistance so that we can take it down to that to these lows. I think we're in this market. I think we are in for a longer term pullback. If we go down to the daily, let's check it out. Let's see what the daily has to say. This is a bullish break of market structure. And you'd say, we should be looking bullish. Well, maybe that bullishness has already happened. Again, we broke here, we pulled back, and then went higher. All right, that's cool. But are we about to head towards this low? If you look at the euro, I'm pointing to it again. If you look into the euro, you can see that action has already happened. We have a change in the character. We have a failed swing to make a new high, and then we see the market moving down. If we look at the pound, we have the exact same thing. We have a bullish break market structure, then we pulled down, we broke. We have a bearish shift in the market. In the market, we have a failed swing high. It did not take out that high, and then we see the market trailing down. All right, so I'm looking for the same thing here. We have a bullish break of market structure. We took a break below the consolidation here. All right, that is a shift, a market structure shift there. And You see how the market pulled down. We swept that important low. I have pointed that out some weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. All right, see the market pull back up into this fair value gap and respect it as such. And I think we will be heading down towards these lows. If I can just draw this thing, it'd be great. All right. So I'm looking for this as a sell side liquidity target. All right. For the week ahead, I think because we swept into this bearish fair value gap already, which are these lows here. Because we swept up into that, I think the chances, the probabilities of us going up higher to take that high are less than the probabilities of us continuing lower from here. We're going to find out though. If it does, it's all good, because once it takes out that high, oh man, I didn't mean to do that. Once it takes out that high, once it takes out, okay, this thing is tripping. I'm on the wrong thing. All right. Once we go back into this fair value gap, which has already been tapped, all right, but you see, there was hardly any penetration into it. All right, the reaction was immediately down. All right, I like this. I like this as an indication that the market will probably continue down further. So I'm looking for downside action. I'm looking for the market to continue lower. But if it does come up here, I don't think it's going to do nothing but sweep that high. I don't think it's going to do nothing but sweep that high and give us our sell model. Higher high, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. Once we break that low, I'm looking for the market to pull back, give us the entry for a short downtown. You understand? All right. I'm looking at this target being the first target. All right. That's what I'm looking for. I hope that's simple enough, because I think this is a simple setup. All right. If it comes up here, that's great. If it continues lower from here, I'd wait until the market. Honestly, I'm going to wait until the market pulls back. If it takes this low, if it comes down lower first and it takes this low, that's when I'll expect a pullback, probably to these highs. It's probably to this high right here. Okay. And if that happens, I'll be looking for the sell model here. I don't think it's going to make it up to here if it comes down here first. I don't. But I'm hoping that if it does, I'll be waiting for it. Anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out the next one, which will be the New Zealand dollar USD, and I'll see you there. May profits be upon you.